Hey y'all, it's Hans with the Late Night Vision Show, and it is Thursday, your favorite day of the week. And not just because you get to see the Late Night Vision Show, but it is one step closer to finally being through with the Best Of series. And actually, Jason, the owner of Outdoor Legacy Gear, I'm going to bring you in right now. This is our very last show in our 2024 Best Of shows, right? Am I getting this right?
It is our last show, and I
Man.
hope that our listeners and our viewers are not that excited just because it's the end of the best of. That's kind of how you
No, they want
indicated
to,
that,
they're
but
ready to get to some of these
they're
reviews that we got stacked
that's well,
up.
we do have
We
reviews
do.
stacked up. We do. I got up here to record tonight, and I had to move scopes off of my recording
Hmm.
desk because they are sitting here ready. The footage is ready. It's been uploaded
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. I've got the optics now, ready to do some reviews. So there will be those coming soon. Guys, we're going to jump right into this. This is the last of the Best of 2024 series. And if
Mhm.
you are just surfing on to this particular episode and you're like, what are you talking about? We've had a whole series that started with entry level thermal rifle scopes. We also had digital night vision
Mhm.
rifle scopes, entry level, all the price categories all the way up. We've done 384 standard resolution handhelds. This week we're doing 640 resolution handhelds. And guys, we have gone the whole gauntlet through the all the way down to $400 optics to
Mhm.
the top end of stuff in the almost nearly $10,000. So we've had something for everybody. So if any of those price categories interest you, please go back and check those out on the best of 2024. Now, I'm going to try to make this all as short and sweet, real quick. Guys, if you are interested in a night vision or a thermal scope, and you've watched us, maybe you've seen just enough to go, hey, I kind of like these guys. They seem like good guys. I hope you've got that impression. We would love to have your business. And so what you need to do is you need to call us and we can help you figure out what is the exact right optic for you. Hans, Garrett, myself, any of us are happy to spend some time with you over the phone, figure out what you're doing, what kind of rifle you're using, where you're hunting, what you're hunting, all those things, and we can recommend a scope that is just what you need for your budget and will do you the best. We understand there's so many different options. Even watching these best of, you still get confused, and we understand that. So
Mhm.
we would love to have your business. And if you want to do business with us, we want to help you. So you can call us at 877 350 1818, or you can surf onto the website outdoorlegacy.com. And again, we know that there's so much going on here and it's a lot of money.
Mhm.
And you want to talk to somebody who's used these and used them all side by side and knows how they compare. And we are happy to help you with that. Again, 877 350 1818. Now to the topic at hand. I want to explain. I know a lot of people don't hear this part. They probably skipped right by it, and that's okay. So I have to explain in the comments every week to people who go ahead and ask because they didn't hear this part. They say, why did you not include XYZ brand? Or why did you not include XYZ monocular from one of these brands that you sell? The reason is this: if we don't put an optic on this list, let's just say we don't put a brand on this list,
Mhm.
there's a reason. If there's
Yeah.
we don't sell that brand, it's because we have found some reason that we don't think that is the best value for the dollar to offer our customers. That's the simplest way I can put it. Now, maybe there's a brand we do sell, and their one particular model is not on this list. Why is that? Well, it could be that it's discontinued. There's a lot of times people don't understand that this stuff comes and goes very quickly, and so maybe the model you're referring to has been discontinued. Maybe you're watching this a month from now or 6 months from now, and there's new models that came out while we were recording
Mhm.
this or after we recorded. We're recording this right now for November of 2024.
Mhm.
So again, there will be changes, but we're putting the optics that Hans and I have personally handpicked that we believe are the best of 2024, and then we hone it down and choose our favorite one out of that group. And the one that we like the most may not be the one we recommend to you. You go, well, wait a minute, that's your favorite. Why would you not sell me your favorite? Because we take a hands-on approach, and we believe that every single hunter has a unique situation of how they're using an optic or going to use an optic, and we want to find what is best for you and your situation. Again, all these are great optics or they wouldn't have made the list. So that's a disclaimer we give every week. Guys, again, if you're looking for any of these, you got questions about them, we'd love to have your business. You know how to get a hold of us. Hans, let's jump in.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to read a list of some things that you're not going to hear about on the show today, and a couple things going back to what you said before. I would say, being excited or talking and opening the show about being excited about this series ending. I would probably should have been more specific. I'm excited for the best of shows to be over and gone and moving on to something else. But you talked also about people calling. I don't know if they like us, but they're definitely calling. We thank y'all for that. They're calling in droves. But so now, as Jason referenced, we're talking about the best 640 handheld monoculars. So what's not going to be on the list? There's some. I'll read just a few of them. But the Rix Stride ST6, which is a helmet, more popularly known as a handheld, not a handheld binocular, a helmet-mounted.
You can do it. I
think
do
so.
it.
I don't think so, man. I'm struggling. Better known as and most commonly used as a helmet-mounted binocular. The Infrared Outdoor Micro RH25 V2, again, most notably known as a helmet-mounted binocular, as well as the Envision Nox 18. And the Mergers. The Mergers are thermal binoculars. Today, again, we're focusing on 640 resolution handheld binoculars. That is by far, monoculars are by far the most popular in the handheld series. We did 384 last week. We're doing 640 this week, but we are excluding a few of those again that are specifically more designed for helmets and or as binoculars. So
Yes.
those are a few that aren't going to be on the list today that we won't.
Yeah, and just real quick, I want to say it doesn't mean those can't be used as a handheld. I use the Rix Stride ST6 as a handheld when I'm deer hunting. So there's things we can talk about. If you said, hey man, I don't want a helmet mount, but I'm interested in one of those for a certain situation. We'll be glad to talk to you about that and see if it will work for you. That there are certain things you can do, but just generally speaking, we're not going to recommend those.
And those are those are
handheld.
great. Yeah, those are great, but they're at a disadvantage because most of them are one power based magnifications, so they just don't really compete well with the ones that we're going to be talking about today. So
they don't.
Jason's going to start out and read half of these, and I'm going to read the second half and get through this list.
And
of
real quick, I want
contenders.
to just add one thing. Hans mentioned the Merger binoculars. That's from Pulsar. It's the Pulsar Mergers. There's several of them. We sell them. We love them. We like them. We just don't want to include binoculars in the list with monoculars, single eyepiece. All right, here we go. Man, we've got more disclaimers. I'm fixing to give you a couple more. So starting this list off, there's two optics that we're going to list because they deserve to be on here because people are going to ask questions, but they're not going to be in the running. And that's going to be the Pulsar Axion XG30 Compact. That is a 2-power handheld thermal for $19.99, right at $2,000. Also, brand new Nocpix Lumi H35. That's a 2.5 power for $21.99. Now, you're going to say, okay, hold on. Why are you talking about them? Who is Nocpix? What is this about? These are both brand new optics, the Axion XG30 Compact and this Nocpix Lumi, but they're literally just now hitting the market. So we'll hold these off, probably include them on next year's list if they're still around. But we just haven't had enough. We've been using them, but we don't feel like we've had enough time to add them in here and say that they're the best of. Now, Nocpix, you're saying, what is that? I haven't heard of that. Well, listen, go back to Hans, what was last Friday's date?
Oh gosh, are you kidding me?
Well, it was a
next
I know.
question.
I know. Okay,
I don't know.
It was the
Today's
15th. It was November the 15th. It was okay. So the 15th, Friday, November 15th. You can find it. It's going to be called Knock Picks. What did you title it, Hans? The Knock Picks something.
Just yeah, knock picks interview or knock picks thermal breaking news interview, and that was
Okay.
Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
episode. Well,
So
it was a breaking news episode, so
yeah.
it
So it was a
wasn't
break.
a
So it doesn't have a show number. That's why I can't tell you the number because it was a breaking news on Friday, not Thursday. Basically, Knock Picks new brand from IRA USA. It's going to be distributed and warranted by them. We are picking this brand up. Again, go watch the show. We will have these optics hopefully in hand either by the time you're watching this or within a week or so. That's the current ETA of that. We already have this Knockpix Illumi H35, and it is fantastic. It is again, this is all 640s. This is a 640 2199 great unit. We can talk more about that when they come. Expect a review in the next few months on that. Okay, so here's the list of the contenders. I'm going to start with the AGM Sidewinder. It's a TM35 640. It's a 2 power and it's $2,495. Next, we've got the Infrared Outdoor Finder FH35 version 2 V2 LRF. Got a laser rangefinder built in. It is a 2 power base mag and it is $24.99. Next, we got the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35. That's a 2.5 power for $24.99. We have the AGM Reach IR LRF. That's a 35 640, and that's a 2 power at $26.95. Next, we have the AGM Sidewinder TM50 640. It's a 2.5 power for $27.95. Hans, I'm sure these people
gosh.
are tired of hearing me talk. Why don't you round this list off?
Yeah, you went through that pretty quick. So, finalizing list of 640 thermal monoculars, we got the AGM Reach IR LRF. That's the 50 millimeter 640 resolution magnification on that's a 3 power. Price on it is $29.95. We've got the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35 LRF. That's a 2.5 power for $2,999. The Pulsar Telos XP50 2.5 power base magnification, $29.99. That's actually the sales price. The regular price is $34.99. We're going with the sale price in this for reference of the show. Who
Yeah,
knows? At some
but by
point
the
it
way,
could go back.
that sale is scheduled to end at the end of November 2024. The prices are set to go back up.
Yeah,
So if you're watching this after November 2024 and the prices are more expensive, that explains why the sale's off.
exactly. Yeah. So that is the sale price. So you got the Pulsar Telos XG50. That's a 3.5 power, $29.99. Again, sales price, regular price, $34.99. Pulsar Telos XP50 LRF. That's a 2.5 power, $34.99 sales price. Regular price is $39.99. We got the Pulsar Telos XG50 LRF, 3.5 power, sales price $34.99. Regular price $39.99. We got that's officially the end of the list, but we've got a couple that we're going to mention as well. We do know that the Pulsar Teloses also come in at 1024 resolution. There's two of them. You got just the regular XL50 and the XL50 LRF. Those are 1024 resolution. Again, for the purpose of this contest and for this best of show, we're focused specifically on the 640 resolution. So those are not eligible because if they were, they probably would win. It wouldn't be fair. But there's only a couple handheld 1024 resolution binoculars. Again, those are the Pulsar Telos XL50s. You know, Jason, as the Pulsar mergers, the binoculars, those also have a 1024 version as well. But that is the end of our list, Jason. We're ready to pick some honorable mentions and winners.
All right, guys, excuse my coughing and
Yeah.
hacking up along over here. It's probably going to get worse. I feel a tickle coming in my throat. I've been fighting off a little bit of a cold, but I better get another drink here and struggle through this. Okay,
This is going to
so
be heavy on the edit button here. I have to go
yeah, you're
through.
going to have to. I need like a cough button so it mutes me. So starting here on the optics that I mentioned, we've got the AGM Sidewinder TM35 640. I'm going to go ahead and mention its big brother, which is the Sidewinder TM50 640. Those are 100% identical units other than the 35 is a 2 power. The 50 is a 2.5 power. Price difference is $24.95 and $27.95. So you would just pay more to get the higher magnification if that's something that you needed. Really like both of these units. Anybody who knows us knows what I'm about to say. They take an 18650 battery. That is a
Mm-hmm.
generic, fully removable, rechargeable battery that you can buy for $20 or $25, and they're fantastic. Really like that. One thing I just going to mention this I like about the Sidewinders is they've got this strange material. I don't know what it is. I want to say it's rubber, but it's not rubber. But it's got just a little bit of a grippy feel on the outside, a rubbery type texture. I don't know. I really like it. It feels really good. It's not too soft, not too hard. I just
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, it's cool. I like the way it feels in your hand. Very nice units, good image quality, definitely strong contenders in this list. Next, wildly popular. This is the Infrared Outdoor Finder FH35R V2 with a laser rangefinder. I do want to note a lot of guys say, well, how was the V1? I don't know. It never made it to the US. So
Yeah.
this is the first
All right.
infrared finder that made it here. So it is the version 2, but we didn't have the V1 in the US.
Mm-hmm.
This unit, like it a lot. It is, 24.99, so $2,500 with a laser rangefinder makes it a very, very good value, very popular. A lot of people love this unit because they can get a 640 and a laser rangefinder for a very affordable price. Moving on, we've got the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35. It's a 2.5 power. 24.99. That is a nice unit as well. Small, compact. The Axions, there's been so many models over the last, I don't even know what, 4, 5, 6 years. That sometimes somebody will mention to me, hey, I've got the such and such Axion. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. There's been
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, but people really, really like them for the small, compact design and good image quality, great optic from Pulsar. Next, these are new this year, this late summer and fall, and we're eating them up. And it's the AGM Reach IR LRF. It's the 35640 for 2695. This is more of a compact style design, which is kind of like that Axion I mentioned. Again, laser rangefinder built in, and thank you AGM, a fully removable, rechargeable 18650
Mm-hmm.
battery. And I tell you, for $2,700, it's a great unit, a great image quality, and again, size, design, 18650. There's a lot to love there, and that is it. I've already mentioned the Sidewinder TM50, so that's all on my list, Hans.
Yes, sir. Going on AGM Reach Hour LRF the 5640. This, as Jason mentioned, this is the claim to fame is that it runs on an 18650 battery, got a built-in laser rangefinder. This is the 50, so it's a 3 power, a little bit high on the base magnification, but for those of you that want long range viewing and scanning, if you're in wide open places where you can see a long way in all directions, that's a really good option and a really good price at $29.95 with the built-in laser rangefinder. The Reach IR, as Jason said, are very new to our list this year, and actually won an award last week in the 384, one of the awards in the
Mm-hmm.
384 division. We got the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35 with the laser rangefinder, 2.5 power, 29.99. We've talked about the Axions a lot. I don't need to feel like I need to
Yep.
explain that too much more. But the Pulsar Telos XP50, 2.5 power, right at $3,000. That's the sales price, and man, y'all have been eating those up. People calling like crazy. It is, it definitely has to be mentioned towards the top of the list whenever we're talking about best monoculars and our favorite monocular, the Pulsar Telos. I really like, Jason. Obviously, they've got that removable battery pack, but also they have that continuous zoom feature on the end where you kind of just slide the zoom and it goes up incrementally instead of doubling with the push of a button. It's going up in a very smaller increment form. It goes from 2.5 up to 10 power, so a little bit different on the old Helions. They were 2.5 to 20. These are 2.5 to 10. which I don't think you're sacrificing anything. Most people don't use this stuff over 10 power anyway. But
No.
you got the Pulsar Telos XG50. That's a 3.5 power. Again, sales price $29.99. Very similar in design, again, to the XP50, but just a little bit higher base magnification at 3.5 power. Then you got the Pulsar Telos XP50 with the laser rangefinder. And then you got the Pulsar Telos XG50 with the laser rangefinder. They look a little bit different. I don't know if I know I'm showing pictures of them, but the laser rangefinder on these is actually on the bottom. And so even though it does kind of stick out a little bit, I think they put it in the best spot possible where it doesn't seem like it's in your way. So it works very well. Laser rangefinder is fantastic. Very accurate. It will be as accurate on a reading, really, as far as you can hold that thing steady. As far as holding that handheld monocular steady enough.
Yeah,
And that's it. Yeah.
that's a good thing to point out there. We get this question a lot of
Mm-hmm.
how accurate is it? And I'm like, it's as accurate as you can hold it steady. And what
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't realize until they get a handheld with a laser rangefinder in their hand is when you're holding something up like this in front of your face with nothing to lean or rest on,
Oh yeah.
holding that and putting that needle,
Yeah.
that laser, putting that
Yeah.
needle on that animal and again, you got to press the button so it kind of moves the unit a little bit. Being able to do that past 350 yards is really hard. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you got to be steady Eddie to
Yeah.
get much further than that. And some people can't get that far. And oh no, if you lean up against something, you got a tripod, you tuck your elbows in. There's some things to do to get further. It's again, that has nothing to do with the laser rangefinder. It just has to do with
Right.
your ability to hold them steady. But all
Yeah.
right, so Hans, let's talk about here. I'm going to talk about just real quick our honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
And so this week, if you've watched the other episodes, sometimes Hans has a favorite, and I have a favorite, and I have an honorable. He has an honorable. This week we talked about this beforehand, which we don't even always do, but we did, and it was just like, yep, this. We really
Mm-hmm.
both came up with this in agreement. And we have two that we're going to split the honorable mention. And it's funny because we both agreed, like, I like both these. I hate to kind of choose between them because I like them both so much.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 2024 Best 640 Thermal Monocular Handheld Honorable Mention, this is going to be split by both the Infrared Outdoor Finder and I guess it should be clear because maybe there's more finders in the future. I don't know. The Finder FH35R V2. All right, that
Yep.
model. And the AGM Reach IR 35
Mm-hmm.
640. Guys, both of these are fantastic. They both have the laser rangefinder built in. You're
Mm-hmm.
getting a great image quality on both of them. And again, it's $2,500 for the Finder. It's $2,700 for the Reach IR. So it's really only $200 more. And we can get into the whole logistics of, well, which one of those, if I call you, which one are you going to recommend? There's some things we can talk about. I do think that the 18650 batteries on the Reach IR make it very desirable for a lot of people and worth a couple $100 more for us. I think they're both just two of our favorites. Again, this whole
Mm-hmm.
list, every one of these, great optics. These two stand out to us being really the right magnification where we like in that 2 power
Mm-hmm.
and having the laser rangefinders for guys who need them. I just think it's two great optics.
Very good optics, very close. I mean, as far as
Yeah,
it's a tough choice. It really is. I
it
mean, the
is.
Finder FH35 RV2 in coming out of SHOT Show when it was announced, everybody was just shocked at the price versus the fact that it was a 640 resolution, had the built-in laser rangefinder, and people flocked to it. I mean, it was such a good
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
Many of those units sold, and then you have the Reach IR, which comes out later in the year. Has a very somewhat similar price point, but with the
Mm-hmm.
similar features and the 18650. So now people are like, oh man, you're right. That's what a lot of people kind of want moving forward. They want more accessible, easy to find, less expensive batteries. And that's been the late surge in the popularity of the Reach IRs. But the Finders, very good. People love them. They get them. They like the quality. Obviously, they love the price, and the fact that again, you're using the built-in laser rangefinder. I was actually using playing around with one again last night. We all test this stuff and we test it for
Yeah.
a long time. But once we get done testing it, usually we're on to the next thing. But I've got a buddy that I hunted with last night that actually owns the FH35 R V2, and we had it out last night. And I was just kind of playing around with it again. And I was like, man, this thing it really is very, very good, and you get to kind of see this again and compare it to some of the newer stuff like the Reach that just came out and side by side. So it's really cool. Two great optics. And again, very, very close. It was a hard choice between them, but both of them getting honorable mention. But you want me to talk about who our winner is, who the grand
I do,
champion
and
is?
and
Rocco?
and if you're a longtime listener of this show, I bet you're going to know what we're going to choose here. If
Hey,
just
I
take a
was just
guess.
thinking the
If
same
you've been
thing.
watching for a long time, now's your time. We're going to give you
Yep.
3 seconds to guess. And yeah, Hans, tell them what the grand champion, the winner of the
Yeah.
2024 Best 640 handheld, right here on the Late Night Vision Show.
Yeah,
What
you
is it?
might be thinking you're watching the 2023 show, or you got the Pulsar Telos XP50. When people call in and they talk to us about monoculars, and if they ask, in our opinion, what we felt like the best monocular on the market is,
Yeah,
Jason, I know what you say. You know what I say. It's the
I
Pulsar
do.
Telos XP50. If you ask Jason and I what we're using personally, I've got one right over my shoulder. When I go out at night, I'm using the Pulsar Telos XP50. Fantastic picture image. The Pulsar monoculars, they've really been strong for many, many years. And, where it started kind of with the Helions, and there's been some other models, but the Helion was one of our favorite when it was out for a long time. And then you got the Teloses. But that's the monocular that we're using a lot of the time when we're not testing other stuff. And
So
it's, go ahead.
yeah, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, so I will be clear. Right now, I am using the XL50 only because I gave our salesman Garrett my
Oh man.
XP50, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess I
I
ought to
think I
have the
just got
XL.
I think I just got
But
big time there.
I think you just got demoted there. Yeah. So no, I gave Garrett my XP50, so I did pick up the XL. And that's something that we get a lot of questions about. We can talk about on the phone if you're looking at one of these and you want to make that purchase from us, but you're just not sure whether it's XP or the XL. Holly, we're glad to help. But yes, XP50, guys, it is. I'm going to say this. Pulsar is probably going to wish that I didn't say this because I'm probably going to open this up for everybody to come gunning for them, and the competition, may end up, ousting them here. But I will say that when it comes to the absolute best handheld on the market, the best image you can get in a 640 image, the just best overall, I don't think Pulsar has a competitor to the Telos. I don't think they had a competitor to the Helion. Now, don't get me wrong. We can get into the discussion of how good is it, how much better of a value is buying something like a Reach or a Finder. Man, I can save $1,000 or 1,500 when they're at the full price. Is it worth it? Those are discussions to be had. Depends on what your budget
Mhm.
is. But if we just say what is the best, I don't really think it can be argued with. And I mean, again, I know that's a big statement, and we rarely make these kind of just all in statements, but guys, there's really, really, really good optics on this list that are close, but I just think Pulsar has got it wrapped up when it comes to image quality in these handhelds. Now, again,
Mhm.
Pulsar, I'm sorry, I know the other manufacturers probably get mad when I say that, and they're going to come
Mhm.
running and gunning for you, but it is that the starting as Han said with the Helions, the Telos is just the next generation of the Helion in a new body style.
Mhm.
Fully removable, rechargeable battery, very long battery life, easy to use controls. I know you said something, I know you didn't mean it this way, but you said something about the zoom being a slide. I think what he actually meant was like a twist. It's a ring on the front that's just like a focus ring. And actually, sometimes we've talked about that. We grab the wrong one. That can be an annoyance if you're not careful. You'll zoom instead of focus, or vice versa. But love them, absolutely well deserved. Somebody's going to say, "Wait a minute, why didn't you choose the LRF model? Y'all chose two LRFs down there. Why not choose this one as an LRF?" Hans and I didn't really talk about this, so I'm going to answer. And if he's got a different reason, he can say. For he and I, we don't generally use the laser range finders in our monoculars. We don't use a lot of laser range finders at all. We hunt a lot of the same properties over and over and over, our own places that we know well. And so we don't normally need a laser rangefinder. So, with that, I would choose the XP50 non LRF because I think it's smaller, it's lighter weight, it costs less money. Why have it on there? Now, when we talk about a couple optics like the Finder or the Reach IR, that laser rangefinder is built in so small that you don't even really realize that it's there. It's just built into the body, so it doesn't feel necessarily bigger to get the laser rangefinder. Where I think the Telos does, you just it sticks off the side a little bit, so you kind of notice that more. So I think choosing the Reach IR and the Finder with the laser rangefinder is two reasons. One, it's integrated so well and so small, and two, they're just so darn affordable. It's like, why not get it if it doesn't hardly cost you any more money? But when it comes to Telos, we do great without it. And I just absolutely love that unit.
All right. So this has been the best 640 resolution thermal monoculars. There's been a good list again, Jason, a
Yeah.
very strong list, very competitive. And again, I think we've said this in some of the past episodes, and I think it's safe to say it again now that we're wrapping up our best of series for 2024. The biggest change in the market isn't necessarily an increase of technology. Yes, there's more optics coming out with higher than 640 resolution. You got some 1024 stuff coming out, which is really, really good and exciting to see. But you're not seeing a huge, just night and day difference between these models year to year, or even model to model, as far as technology. I think the biggest change in what we're seeing is the pricing structure and the resettling of prices. And so that's why you see a lot of this stuff is on sale, or you may see that something might be a little bit more discounted than what it was before. So if you have some questions about something and you're trying to decide between this list, and you want to know if our favorite, the Telos, is right for you, or if one of our honorable mentions, or maybe something that wasn't on our list, our honorable mentions list, and maybe you're looking at something else, a Pulsar Axion, or what have you, give us a call. We can talk about it. If it's on our list, there's a reason for it. And it's because we feel like it deserves to be there. And we have recommended every single one of these monoculars on the list, and we would have no problem doing it again, recommending that, and having full confidence in doing so. So if you have questions, if you're trying to find a monocular, you're wanting a 640 monocular, wanting a 384, you want to know what the difference is. What does 640 get you over 384? We can explain that. We can talk to you. And I tell you, Jason and I have been doing this for a long time. We've been doing the show for a long time. We've been testing optics for many, many years. And a lot of people call us. Yes, they're wanting to buy an optic, but they need to know how their Pulsar Quantum Light compares to a brand new Pulsar Axion. Well, Jason and I can tell you, there's things that haven't been around for many, many years
Right.
that we've tested, that we can share our insight of what your optic that you've had for many years looks like compared to the new stuff. And you really just, I don't want to toot our own horn. You just can't really get that anywhere. I'll tell you, but we thank you for calling. This has been a very, very busy time of year for us. We just got off a very crazy week of phone calls, and we appreciate all the business that you give us. So we invite you to call 877-350-1818, outdoorlegacygear.com. You can find all this stuff on the website, but if you're trying to decide, give us a call. This has been episode 342. We're on to reviews and pre-SHOT Show stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming up between now and the end of the year. SHOT Show is just around the corner. That means typically there's going to be some new announcements, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. So stay tuned. We did have the breaking news show last week about the Knock Picks Thermal. I do anticipate there being some breaking news between now and January. What do you think, Jason?
You seem to know more than I do. So the way you said that like three times, I was like, what
Yeah.
is he talking about? No, there, I'm sure there will be. There is always so much stuff going
Hmm.
on in this industry, just like this. New brands popping up, new scopes. There's stuff that I don't know, guys. We'll talk about it in another show, but it used to be easy. Wait till SHOT Show, all the new stuff comes out, it gets announced, and that's it. And now it's year round. I mean, it is absolutely
Sometimes
year
they
round.
announce it before they even go to Shot Show. It's
Oh
like they
yeah,
announce. Yeah,
absolutely.
it used to be just be that
It's
week, but sometimes it's like before a few weeks before.
or it's 3 weeks after, or you just
Yeah,
can't figure out anymore. There's no
yeah.
way of knowing. So it's good and bad. Lots of great stuff coming. Keeps us on our toes, guys. We want y'all to stick right here to the Late Night Vision Show. You can find us on all the social medias: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can find Hans there as well. HANSETX and Outdoor Legacy. Any of the socials, we would love to keep in contact with you there and see all of our stuff that we're posting and short clips and videos from optics and things that
Hmm.
we're testing at that time. But you've got us right here. Number one, uh, don't lose this right here on YouTube. You can
Hmm.
subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if you're in the market for a thermal or night vision optic, we would love to have your business at Outdoor Legacy. Guys, listen, we'll be back next week. Another great show. Thank you for tuning in. Between now and then, y'all stay safe.